Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Pandemonium podcast. I'm joined here with Harrison and Gabriel.
Hello.
Fortunately, nobody else was able to join us today, but if things look a little differently, I am the host for this episode.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We
So-
will see about that.
So the reason why I'll be hosting today's episode is because if you guys are familiar with the channel and you guys are regular viewers, we haven't done an episode in over a month now.
Yeah.
Just life, man, busy with things.
Yeah. I want to apologize to all of our listeners and viewers out there. It's been busy lately, well, we could go into that sooner, but it's just, it is what it is, but hey, we're here now.
Yeah, man, life is life. You feel me? But so I came up with the idea that why don't we kind of just throw in a filler episode until we figure something out. And my idea was I know we've been doing this for a couple years now, but
I actually want to do the math of this real quick. I think we started this in 2020. I think it was April or May of 2020.
5 years.
Yep.
5
No, 4.
years. Or no, yeah, 4, technically 4, almost 5, technically.
Yeah,
but
I think we were still wearing masks because that's when I was recording with my phone.
I was recording with my phone too.
Pair of gaming headsets.
I was recording with
my terrible.
Oh yeah, mine was horrible until we upgraded to this now. But it is so funny how much time has passed.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a long time. But I wanted to kind of do something a little more personal to where you guys could, or we could not introduce ourselves because we've been doing this for so long, but kind of go deeper into us personally so the viewers can relate to us on a more personal level. You guys know what our favorite things are, what our least favorite things are, but you guys don't really know us personally.
And some small life stuff, yeah.
Right, yeah, that we've mentioned in other videos. So I figured why not, we're not gonna go deep, but deep. But just kind of
Who did you date in high school? Yeah.
Who was your first crush? Name and address.
When did you lose your virginity?
Whoa. And how?
And how?
Male or
there were
female?
2 guys.
Whoa.
Oh, crap.
Hell no. Oh my gosh. But
oh my goodness.
yeah, so that's what I wanted to do today. I tried to come up with enough questions so where we can make it stretch a little longer since there's only 2 of us or 3 of us, including myself today. Whoa, dude, you're not a person. You're not real. Oh my gosh. But so yeah, I made sure to include a couple questions. So just wanted to start off kind of introducing ourselves. So I'm gonna start off here. So I am Darren. I'm 23 years old. OG. I was born October 9th of 2001. You guys may know me or recognize me as King Midas back in the day. I was known as King Midas for a couple years. That's how I got my nickname, and my gamer tag and all of my social media was King Midas. The way I came up with that name is just because I was always so into gold, gold jewelry, gold anything, and with King Midas being connected to gold, in Greek mythology, that's I took the King Midas and just took it for myself, and then I stuck with that for a while, and then recently I changed it to 4PF Midas because my favorite rapper is Lil Baby, and his label is 4PF, and I just took the Midas name and continued it. So yeah, that's my name. I'm 23. That's how I got my name. If you guys want to introduce that part of yourselves also.
All right. So Gabe, do you want to go next, or do you want me to tackle this?
I'm trying to figure out who Little Baby is.
Oh, he's a rapper.
Yeah. Okay. I will try and tackle.
It also if Gabe, if you're wondering, the topics are on the phone. Also, like just a layout. I mean, if you still need some time, I could go. I could go next.
If you're prepared, then go for it.
Yeah, I can go.
Because I just gave my name, age, and how I got my name.
I thought we were going to do like a Socratic circle where we do like our name, then we switch to Harrison. He does his name, not all that at once, but that's fine.
Yeah. So I could go. So let me just get this down. So yeah.
Yes,
so yeah, I'll go next while Gabe prepares. So hello, I'm Harrison. I am 22 years old. Yeah, I'm an adult now. Crazy. I mean, I've been an adult for like 2 years now, so yeah, really crazy stuff. So everyone, people on, if you know me on Discord, Instagram, Xbox, like a lot of social media platforms that I use, you may know me as Harrison Godzilla. So how I got that nickname is, if anyone, everybody knows this. All my friends, my family, they know I'm a big Godzilla fan, and Godzilla has been a big inspiration for me. In fact, as of today's recording, it is Godzilla's 70th anniversary. So,
whoa,
yeah, crazy to think about. So, yeah, Godzilla has such an impact on me. It was Godzilla sort of the reason why I got into filmmaking. And also like my fascination for like creatures, like more so like, what they represent in fiction, like why are they feared and why are they so revered too. So like in fiction and also in real life too, because animals are also revered and like, have like certain connotations with them, like, the lion is regal, the snake is evil, and so to speak. So yeah, so I just attached Godzilla to like put my first name and then Godzilla. There's nothing. It was that. But I have been thinking about doing some rebranding because I have been really working on my film making career. I've been really working on that, like getting my name out there. Um, in fact, like recently, I really boosted, really worked on that. Like, I even got like my own website now for like my filmmaking and stuff. So I'm thinking about rebranding soon, but like everyone knows me as, Harrison Godzilla.
The Gabe looks freaking lost. Sorry. Gabe was thinking like, what is my name? How old am I?
But yeah, that's how I got my nickname. It's nothing too special. It's just my first name and then Godzilla attached to it. But yeah, that's me. Hello.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gabriella.
Also, can I just say I really appreciate that Gabe put on the glasses to
Yeah.
Yeah.
My eyes are shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hi, I'm Gabriel. Some of you might know me as Gabriel because I don't have an online presence as much as the other guys that have mentioned theirs. But I've been pretty incognito when it comes to the online stuff. I only pop in for meme groups or whatever, and occasionally podcasts. But I was born in January. I'm 21 now. I will be 22 this upcoming January, which is it's November, so 2 months from now.
Young boy.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Short and sweet. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Short and sweet, yeah.
Hello, America. My fellow Americans. Today, we're going to have a big podcast. This could be huge.
The biggest ever.
No one has ever seen it like I have.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Crazy.
Well,
Yeah, that's a little
I
bit.
know. Lewis doesn't really have a online presence, I don't think.
Not as much. Well, he does
Yeah.
have a. He did mention he does have a Twitch channel, and he does
Right, yeah.
He
occasionally
does?
stream on there. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I only found this out like when he visited us. In summer, I forget when was it, like July or August.
It's a while ago.
Whenever he was in our town for a bit. So yeah, he just dropped that with us, and I think he does it only on weekends or something. But other than that, he is rarely online, as far as I know.
Yeah. Ed used to be referred as Rocco Barks after
Hmm.
his dog.
After his
Yeah.
dog that passed away, unfortunately. Rest in peace, Rocco.
Barks. But I don't really think he has a name. Andrew doesn't really have a name. I used to
He,
call him Andrew Shoes
yeah, as his
because
nickname. Yes,
back in
yes.
school he used to wear these red Nikes, and like he used to wear them like all the time. It was like the only pair of shoes that he's ever owned. So
He
I'm
wore
like,
those for
Andrew
like
Shoes.
the whole duration of high school.
Yeah, Andrew
Mhm.
Shoes. So,
Yeah. Well, his online name, both on Discord and Xbox, is Actastic Gamer, which I think is just like act, like his name, his like first and last name, conjoined in, to be an Antastic and then Gamer, which is a pretty cool, which is a pretty creative name. I will give him that.
right.
But
Yeah, I don't think anybody else really has any big
I know
naming
Zaire,
names.
who's rarely in here. He's trying to get in here, but life is thing. He goes by No Name online. I don't
Mm.
know how he really got that name. I remember for the longest time it used to be DJ Gamer. That was like before,
Wow.
and then he changed it to No Name.
Maybe it's no name because he couldn't figure out what to change it to.
Yeah.
No name.
But yeah, that's all I can. I think that's pretty much like a little bit of the lore. This is gonna be like the lore drop episode. Like we're just gonna reveal our
Yeah.
lore.
4 years later.
4 years
I know.
later, yeah, you're
know.
all gonna learn more about us.
The sequel.
Those.
So yeah, it's kind of a backstory on like how we got our names. And then the next question that I wanted to dig into was, what is your ethnicity and family background? Maybe like like for myself as an example, I am mixed. I am half white and half Puerto Rican. My dad is Puerto Rican, but he was not born in Puerto Rico. He was born in the U.S. My grandparents are from San Juan, I think. Believe, yeah,
Mm.
from San Juan, which is the capital. But my mom's just white, and I think her background is like German and Dutch. So I'm half Amish and half Puerto Rican. I'm half Ireland and half
Dutch.
Amish. Well, it's the same thing, Mennonite.
It's more offensive if you say it like that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But yeah, nothing fascinating with me. My parents were both born in the U.S. They met. I forgot to ask my mom before I started, but she had me when she was younger than me. I think like I might be wrong, but like 19 or 20.
Oh
She had
wow,
me. So
that I did
um
not know about. Actually, that's
yeah. So
really.
I'm her first. I'm her firstborn. I have a middle brother from the same parents. My youngest brother is still in high school. He's from a different dad. His dad passed away beginning of
Oh,
last year, I believe.
oh,
And then I have two half sisters that come from a different mom. But yeah, nothing too fascinating. Like I said, they were both born in the U.S. My parents, they didn't
really?
really travel from anywhere else to, they just met. Um, I don't really, I haven't really asked them and got into detail of how they met, where they met.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was in school. I doubt it. But yeah, my they had me when they were young. So
Wow.
um, yeah, mixed
Yeah.
white
I
Spanish. But
I actually had a bit of a question. I'm not sure if you know a little bit about if you know about this, but has your mom ever gone in detail like how the experience was about raising a child that young?
um, I mean, obviously it was a little tough for her because she was going to school to
Oh
be a
yeah, I
nurse.
bet. Ooh.
And then um, my dad really wasn't there first couple years when I was like really young. So she's been, a single mom for,
Ooh.
as long as I've been around. I mean, my dad, like, he would like pop in and stuff, but he had some pretty bad addictions when I was younger, and my mom kind of like pushed him away from us to protect us and stuff.
Mm.
So he didn't really come back until when I was a when I was a little older. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was hard.
Oh, I
She
bet. I
was
mean, raising a
raising
child already is already
two
tough,
kids. Yeah, then to do
but
it young
to
and to
do it
be in
young, yeah, that's
school,
a whole thing.
it
And in
sucks. Yeah.
school, yeah, that's already a like school's already a tough thing to do. But and as I already said, raising a child is a very tough thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was more tough. I mean, obviously, it was more tough um, for her, but it's like not just having a juggle a kid and a job. It's also like trying to cover food,
Yeah,
bills, and stuff.
yeah.
She would tell me about how the lights would be cut off, and
Ooh.
she'd be like struggling with trying to bring in food and stuff for us. I think she said she was like having a really hard time paying rent the one time, but the landlord that she was under like gave her he gave her a break in some way, and it like helped her out a lot. So
Mm.
yeah, when I was a baby, we didn't really have a lot of money. I mean, you can see older photos too. We didn't have a lot, but um,
Your mother's a trooper. I gotta say that your mother is a trooper.
that's all right. Yeah,
Yeah, she raised you like she got you like look at you like that's a sign that she really really toughed this out. She
that's
battled
all right. Yeah,
for this and God, why am
yeah,
I getting teary eyed all of a sudden?
yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
that's
but
good.
Darren
your
origin story.
Darren origin
Yeah,
story. But
yeah,
yeah, but I have to commend your mom for that. That is a tough
yeah.
woman, and
She
she
never
has
gave
earned
up.
my respect.
She never gave up.
Hmm. And that's an admirable trait.
That's
Uh,
right.
so I can go next. I mean, I guess we kind of just did. It'll be Darren and me and then Gabe. So just my ethnicity and family background. So like Darren, I'm also mixed. I am half white, like Caucasian, and I am half Asian, particularly of Chinese Mandarin descent with a hint of Japanese. I don't know how that got in there, but
Wow.
because
Something
if
got
you know
mixed
the
up.
world history, the Chinese and Japanese didn't exactly get along. Um, but so I guess I can go with my mother's side a little bit. So my mother's side is Asian, which is the Chinese Mandarin, like the Mandarin side. So, but my mother was born here in America, like how you said your dad was. But my grandparents, which would be my mom's grandmother and my mother's mom and dad, they originally were from Hong Kong, and they you know immigrated here. Because my grandfather was involved with some pretty bad people in Hong Kong, and so it was him, my grandmother, and my great aunt, I believe, as well, and other family. immigrated to the U.S. To escape that life. Unfortunately, it followed them, and my grandfather was murdered. They never found the killers. They never found who did it, and yeah, and then my grandmother at that time, they were living in New York at the time, and my grandmother, and to be fair, my mom has isn't the only sibling. My mom had, I'm just trying to count this right. Four other siblings, a brother and three sisters. So my grandmother was devastated by my grandfather's death, and she couldn't handle raise. She was also she was afraid for my mother and her siblings' lives, so she put my mom and her siblings into foster care, and and so each of them, were raised by different family. Well, some by the same families and some by different. I mean, most of them are raised, I believe, the Mennonite way. So, they had very strict households, rules, were raised to be Christian. So, my mother's beliefs definitely carry through that, even to modern times. But yeah, and it was only like a couple years ago that my grandmother, who was my mother's mom, contacted and said that she wasn't doing well, but she all of her my mom and her siblings met their biological mother right before she passed away. I don't know how many years ago that was, but it was a good decent year, like pretty, I would say like 3 or 4 years ago. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's my mother's side of the story, like with my family backstory. And my father's side is predominantly Dutch and Danish with a hint of German. And actually, I know we took a test, one of those like, back, family, tree tests, what
Yeah.
is it like 23 and Me or
23
something?
and me, yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. We found out that my dad's side has Viking descent. So we have, Viking blood in it. We're related
Oh.
to some of the Vikings. So I thought that was really freaking cool. But
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty much my ethnic background with, regarding my mom and my dad. So to reiterate, I'm mixed, Caucasian and Asian. In fact, I kind of like the joke. I put the Asian in Caucasian. Yeah, that's a joke I sometimes like to pull off. And what's funny, I want to just add this, like for an Asian, I can come across like pretty white until I do this. Then
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, then
definitely.
the Asian can be pretty much be kind of dominant, but with the glasses on, I can get away with you know being white. You know,
Yeah, it's gotta
without.
be tough to move from a different country and
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially with that life. I don't know. Like, I'm glad that stuff hasn't followed us to this day. But like, just to think, all that happened. But yeah, we're here now.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Gabe, your turn.
What about you,
Well, I'm
Gabriel?
white.
Whoa, that's digging.
But family history, it's my mother's side is just German, just straight German with a hint of Swedish, and Finland. And on my dad's side, it's just straight Italian the whole way. So
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
he make a debut.
I'm the product.
Yeah, you served on the enemy. Your descent served on the enemy side during World War II.
Yeah, both
Both. That's
the
what I was
Italians
saying.
and the.
Yeah,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
about to say they. In fact, wasn't the Italians the cause of World War II initially? Like they.
No, the Germans started it because they invaded Poland.
Ah, but there was like something happening, like an assassination of like a what was it, like an Italian leader or something? I could be misremembering, but
Wasn't that Mussolini?
I think so. That might be what I'm referring to. Again, I haven't I need to look at my history again.
I mean, Mussolini wasn't very. He wasn't all the talk in the newspapers. It was mostly Hitler.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of like ignored Mussolini and put him in like a corner on the back burner.
So. Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
about you.
What they did, yeah, not exactly admirable. Yeah. But that's interesting. Like, I haven't learned. That's some interesting stuff. I feel like we're gonna learn some stuff that we don't even know about each other. That's
Dude,
gonna.
I was thinking about that. I was like, yo,
that's what I'm scared of.
You
Yeah,
learn my plan.
You know, I'm trying my best not to like dox. You know, dogs as well.
Yeah,
especially now, like because especially like I'm going into the entertainment industry. I'm trying my best, not to put as much information out there.
Right. But
Yeah.
Harrison's age unknown.
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 But cool. So the next one I wanted to dive into is how we met each other and how long we have known each other.
Ooh.
So
to be referenced, I think we have answered this before, but not in this much detail. I think we just kind of skimmed over it.
We did answer it before, yeah, about 30 episodes ago.
30 episodes ago,
Yeah.
But I think we just kind of skimmed over it. Like we were just trying to like go like breeze through it. So here we can go into more detail.
So so when the group you two, Ed, Lewis, Zaire, another friend,
Andrew. Well, you said Andrew.
Andrew, yeah.
And all of our other friends who are not involved with this podcast, you know.
When they were a freshman, I was a sophomore because I'm a year older.
Yeah.
So
you were a year above us, yes. Yeah.
So when I transitioned to the school that they were at, never mind, I'm gonna dox myself by saying that.
Yeah.
I used to go to a different school in a different county with my dad. And then I moved back with my mom. It was around like 2017, I think. Because I was a sophomore. So yeah, it was like 2017-ish. Which definitely wasn't a good year for me. But when I moved back home here, I started in my sophomore year. I don't think maybe I did. I think I did a full year. I don't think I came in halfway. But my brother used to be in this friend group here.
Yes, I remember that, yeah.
And so, I used to, go to school at the same time as my brother. And I used to sit with him in the morning in the cafeteria. And then he, kind of introduced me to you guys. And I do say that Gabe was like the first one that like said something to me, welcomed me in, but it was like him and Harrison that you two that first was like, hey, what's up? And then like, invited me in. And then, ever since that we would just talk every day. Then just became friends. And then my brother kind of fell away after a while. Only he knows what made him kind of like split. But once he kind of fell away, I stayed behind. And then I became really good friends with Lewis, then later Ed. And so I just stuck around. And how long we've known each other. So, I mean, I can't be like, oh, I've known Gabe for this long and Harrison for this long. Because, like I said, I met you guys all at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I've known you guys for
you were
probably like 7 years or something.
Yeah, probably. I was just thinking you were sort of the later introduced. Like, I think you were like one of the last people to be introduced in our group, like to really be in our group.
Yeah. So
that's what I was thinking.
7 years, yeah.
Yeah, 7 years.
So yeah, then like I said, I became well, actually I don't know because Ed didn't really used to hang out at our table, so I think I was close with him last. Um, I don't remember how I really got involved with Ed. I got involved with Lewis because we're similar in terms of like character and stuff. So
and even ethnicity because you two are both Puerto Rican.
right, yeah. So uh, I
Racist.
come on, man. So yeah, like I said, I can't really remember the first thing that Ed and I talked about. Or you know what? It might have been sports because he's a big Pittsburgh fan, and so am I. So I think we were just talking about sports, and that's how we became like close to it. Because, like I said, he didn't really hang out at our table in the morning. Um, but yeah, so we've been friends for like 7 years now. That's how long I've known you guys, and how I have met you guys. So honestly, if it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't have known you guys.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
crazy to think.
It's
Yeah.
true.
It is. It is true. Yeah, and I wanted to add this also. I think also the reason why, because I noticed you really gelled with Ed too, Darren, is because you two kind of also shared the same humor too, like really
Yeah.
scuffed meme humor.
Also, look,
The stupid shit.
for real, and Lewis
Yeah,
too. But
I mean to be fair, we do. I've developed over the years more like the stupid shit humor. Like I'll laugh at the dumbest things known to man.
this is proof because this is an old picture, May 21st of 2018. Just doing something stupid I posted on my Instagram. It said it it was a picture of an apple, and it's a plastic fork through it, and it said press F to pay respects. One like
Oh
equal
my
one
gosh,
here.
I
Like, look at
remember,
Eddie.
and
Look
there's
at
Ed
Eddie,
in the
baby.
bear. I remember that when we were just destroying an apple.
2018.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh, that is crazy to think.
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember that time. It's when we were just messing around with this apple. I don't know why. We were just I don't know. We just found this apple and we had plastic silver and we're like, let's just stab things into it. And we just found it funny.
2022. Look at it.
Oh my gosh, that was my old freaking
Not
playground.
focusing, but
That's
that's
no
Gabe. That's our friend, which I guess is good that it's blurring. And that's me, Harrison, and Andrew.
Andrew, yeah. Yeah. I guess
7 years, guys. Long time.
7 years. Oh my goodness. All right, so yeah, I'll go next. I'm trying to think. Out of our friend group, I think out of the podcast group, I should say. I think technically Zaire would be in this. I knew Zaire the longest. I knew him since elementary school. Like we went to the same elementary school. I don't exactly know how we exactly like connected. I think it was just more so we had a mutual friend and it sort of like, we just became friends that way and he lived in my same neighborhood at the time. So, I think we just like hung out that way cuz we were so close. You know, we were like literally walking distance. Like I think it would be like a good like 2 to 3 minute walk from our houses. So, Zaire and I really hung out that way. And yeah, together it's hard. I will admit, it's hard to
Um,
connect it with him nowadays, but like we try to keep up as much as possible. And
well, that's
that's the same
good.
thing that goes with it, our entire friend group here. We hang out very, I would say, sporadically, but when we do,
Yeah.
it's like nothing has changed, you know, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Zaire I knew the longest since elementary. So I would say, how many years would that be? Oh my goodness.
Almost your whole life.
Almost my whole life. I would say like a
For
good
real.
yeah,
At least
crazy.
over half.
At least over half,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like three
I
quarters.
mhm. I and this also I would say that my second longest relationship of our friend group here would be Gabe cuz before even school became a thing, Gabe and I went to the same church together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in the kids section. There was the adult, then like the main, auditorium stuff, the main gathering, and then our church had like these little kid stuff, for the kids to do whatever. So I guess it's sort of like a daycare, quote unquote, but like with some, some of the teachings in there as well. As so, Gabe and I kind of, we were in the same, area, and we were sort of like I don't want to say the outcasts or like the black sheeps, but we were sort of like
Outliers.
we were sort of the ones that didn't really socialize with other people, and we just found that we were pretty introverted at the as kids, like very young. I think Gabe, you can attest to that. So
Yes.
I think we just because we were just similar in that we just hey, you know what, let's be a band of brothers and just
That's when I met Zaire too, because he introduced me to him one time.
Yeah, I remember I did bring him to church one time. Yeah, that was like that was an interesting time. Yeah, so that's how Gabe and I connected, like really met, and we would just see each other like each weekend or something, and then we found out, and then in middle school, we found out we went to the same school district too, so that was funny.
That was funny.
And I would say we just connected better through that way. Like we just, we would sit at the same lunch table in the mornings and stuff. Damn it, Darren. But
oh my god.
oh my goodness.
I hate that so much.
But yeah,
he's doing some weird shit with his hands for our audio listeners.
Yeah, so Gabe and I, we would just hang out and I'm just basically we just hung out in school. Like we really didn't do a lot of after school stuff in middle school and early high school. It wasn't until like late high school when you started, doing stuff with us.
Yeah.
Because you went to I think the first time you really hung out with us like outside of school was when we all went on that trip. The Baltimore trip, I think.
It was actually the sleepover.
Oh, the sleepover, at Ed's house. Yeah. That's true.
Oh my gosh, that's legendary.
That was a legendary time, yeah.
It's a legendary sleepover.
And
we're
then
playing Among Us the whole night.
Oh yeah, when we played Among Us all night. Oh my gosh. So then it was basically the same thing with everyone else in our podcast group. So mainly Lewis and Andrew. Andrew I met because we did cross country together. And we just, bonded.
Andrew was outside before? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
No
yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, Andrew and I did cross country together. We met through that way, and we just, I think we had a shared interest in entertainment, like video games and movies, and that's how we connected. And then Lewis, I think it was mutual. I don't know exactly how Lewis was introduced. I think it was through Andrew, because I think Andrew and Lewis really hung out together a lot, and then Andrew introduced Lewis to our group. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. I could be wrong. And then Ed is a funny story. Ed used to, when we first met, Ed used to bully me. Ed was a complete asshole to me. He was a complete jerk. And this is the funniest thing. I know I told this on an old episode, but like one time, like, this was during lunch. Ed was bullying the crap out of me, and I just had enough. So I just stood up, looked at him, and I'm like, yo, would you fucking stop? And we just stared at each other for like a good minute. And you know what Ed said? You play Clash Royale? I'm like, yes, I do.
That's definitely something he'd say.
Yeah, so that's how we became friends. We played Clash Royale together.
Definitely sounds like it.
That was like, I would say, it's so funny also, like sometimes like some of the best friendships that you have start off from a bullying thing. It's funny to think about.
Yeah. I had this one friend that like I just like something about me was just disgusted by him. Like we would sit at the same table at lunch and he would always try to like say something to me. And I'd just be like, dude, like shut up. Like why are you even here? And then we became like best friends.
It's so funny. Like that's how Ed and I became friends as well. And then Ed invited us to sleepovers at his old place, and yeah, fun times, and yeah, great. So yeah, Gabe, you can go next.
Well, you all pretty much said everything.
I mean, what about
When it comes to you and Darren, yeah, but Andrew, I met when I met you, Harrison,
Mm-hmm.
and Lewis, same thing. Ed, same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah,
I think that's very much everyone else in the friend group. Yeah, yeah. I would say I would say it was mostly middle school where we really grew, like we really formed that friend group. Even with the people outside of like this podcast as well, because we have friends that are outside that we hang out with as well. But that was a fun time. Those are like the fun times, man. High school and stuff, like especially with lunches, we would laugh so hard. Like me and our friend groups when we sit together at lunch, we would sound like freaking hyenas because we would laugh at the dumbest shit known to man. Yeah. God, what the fuck? Man, the Spotify listeners are really enjoying this.
yeah. Gee, I wonder if they can see through the audio.
But yeah.
For our audio listeners, Darren just drew a very crude sketch of, I think, himself.
I drew a police sketch.
Police sketch of himself. I like it. All right, so yeah, Darren, what's the next topic?
All right, so I got. What was your first? What? Oh my gosh, first. What was your first job, and/or what is your dream career / job? If it's a job, it's a career. So I mean, what are you studying in college? This is optional because some of us in the podcast group, like myself and Lewis, didn't go to college. But so what was my first job and my dream career? So my first job was, believe it was, because I get it confused, but my first job was a car wash attendant. Yeah, making Pennsylvania minimum wage at the time, which was $7.25.
Yeah.
Just car wash stuff. We also did like interior detailing to an exterior detailing. So, and then oil changes too, like most other car washes do. So that was my first job. Did it for about a year and a half, I want to say.
Oh,
And
hold on a
then,
minute. Car washes do oil changes?
yeah, like there was a oil change part, and then there, like behind it was like was the detailing section,
Oh.
and then beside it was like the car wash.
Oh yeah,
Mister Car Wash, they do that too. Um, and I don't know what other like major car wash brand
if I'm
does it too,
thinking,
but
I know where you worked, but that's pretty local, so I won't say the name of the car wash place that you.
yeah, it was next to that supermarket that
Yeah, okay, yeah, I
my
know where
brother
it is.
works
I
at.
know where it is. Yes,
Yeah.
I for
Which
sure
was
Yeah.
there.
next to the bank.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, we know. We can't say it would give away
Yeah.
location.
Yeah, that was my very first like real job. I was still in high school. And then after that, I went to doing DoorDash for a couple months because that was when the virus hit, and
Oh
everybody
yeah.
was laid off for,
Ooh.
man, like months for me. And then I don't think I ever came back. At that point, I found another job because it was like months. So did DoorDash, that like stuff like that, like food deliveries is good because you work by yourself. You can work as long as you want, as many days as you want, whatever days, like you pick your own schedule. The bad thing about that is if the area is not busy, you can't sign up for like a shift, like you have to wait for an opening. They used to do that, but now they added something in the app to where if you pay like a monthly thing, you can, dash whenever you want now. But beforehand, you had to wait for like a schedule to open up, and usually the schedule could be like a half hour long, all the way up to like 8 hours long,
Oh
and
wow.
it was just waiting. And then once you have signed up, if the area wasn't busy, or if it wasn't like a busy town or city, and then you really didn't make anything at all. So it's good and it's bad. It's not hard work at all. You're just going to the restaurant, picking the food up, dropping it off, and that's it. It puts a lot of wear and tear on your vehicle though, and gas
Oh
also.
yeah, but the gas. Oh
Um,
yikes.
so it's just, you really have to be prepared for it. Then after that, I got a real job, working like forklifts and overhead cranes. It was a distribution center because I went to a trade school my junior and senior year of high school. That's really the only reason why I passed high school and graduated. And then, I got a bunch of like certifications, um, and diplomas and stuff. But uh, worked at that job for like 2 years, like a bit over 2 years. Then I got fired. Mistakes of my own. I got fired, and then was unemployed for another 4 months. Then I recently got a job in lawn care, but it's seasonal, so I'm out for the season doing a security job now. My career job, so yeah, I'm all over the place. But my career job, or my dream career job, um, like anything in like a trade. At first it was like HVAC, then it changed to like sheet metal fabrication. But anything that has to do with like heavy equipment and machines and stuff, like a machine operator, or something to do with like forklifts, or even like a mechanic. Honestly, I wouldn't mind being a mechanic. So I like to work on cars. It's a love and hate relationship working on cars, um, when my car guys out there know that a half-hour job ends up turning to a 4-hour job and 2 trips to AutoZone. So it's a love and hate relationship with that. But either, anything like a manufacturing job or like a mechanic, that's my career, because that's where the money's at too. That's what I like doing. It would be more of like a hobby for me instead of like a job, because that's the whole goal. Like, you want your career to almost be like a hobby and not
You
a
want it to
job
be
that
fun.
you
You want it to like you want to look
have to
forward
wake
to
up
it.
and go to work tomorrow. It's like, oh yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I can't wait. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like my dream. And like I said, I'm not going to college, so I can't say anything about that. But
Hmm. Yeah. I think Gabe and I are the out of our group, except for Ed, but also Ed, including we're kind of the only people that went to college or still, or Ed, for Ed and I, still in college.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah. Gabe's
yeah,
done. So, oh
oh
yeah,
yeah,
I'll go.
that's
Yeah,
right. You
yeah.
well, no, no. Did you go for 3 years or four?
2 year.
Two.
Yeah, he did a 2-year
It's a
program.
technical
My
school.
fault.
Yeah.
Well, technically, that's
Technically,
good, dude.
2.
But yeah. All right, yeah, I'll go next. So interesting enough, I never really had like an employment job per se. I more so did more volunteer work, like with like camera work at my church.
Boy.
I and like some stuff I did. Like sometimes I would get paid, sometimes I didn't. It is what it is. But like I never had like a true employment like position. But it was just mainly because my parents needed me at my home, so I didn't really have a chance to to. It would be more difficult if I was to get a job. Like, yes, I would definitely like to want to get some to get some income in, but it's with how my family operation is right now, like it would be very hard. But yeah, so the answer, I guess, yeah, what is your dream career job and what are you studying in college, because I can answer that too. If any, yeah, I've already established this, but I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I'm studying college for filmmaking. Like I originally went to a community college to get all my gen eds out of the way and to pay less for it too. It's doing it that, and then I transferred to Temple. I've been pretty open about this, so it's in the public records. So yeah, I did a community college, as I said, to get all my gen eds out of the way, so I could transfer and really focus on film there on Temple. And I'm going to say, so yeah, filmmaking's been a career of mine. Like, it's been something that I've really been wanting to do ever since elementary school. Like at first, my dream job was zookeeper, because kid, when you're a kid, you kind of go through like, I want to be an astronaut or I want to be a zookeeper phase.
I want to be
Um,
a firefighter.
yeah, stuff
I
like
want to be a
that.
cop.
A police officer. Yeah.
I went through that phase for, I would say, until fourth grade, and then I decided I wanted to be a filmmaker. And people have asked me like any concentrations in film, and I'm like, I kind of want to do whatever: directing, acting, writing, producing, any editing. I've done it, and I've kind of done everything. So I'm a bit of like a jack of all trades. Like I'm dipping my toes into every part of it, because I feel like that's like good. You need to like have knowledge of, especially even if you concentrate as a director, you need to have knowledge about each thing. So I've been doing classes for both, and funny enough, this is sort of the reason why we haven't done a podcast episode in a while, is because I've been focusing on a film project that I put on the back burners for a while now. Like this was a film idea I had since middle school, and then I decided to. What'd you catch?
We caught some type of
A
flying
little
insect.
fly.
Good job. Good job.
Kill
We
cam.
got that on camera too.
Kill cam.
The kill cam. Yeah.
But yeah, so back burner, Harrison.
Yeah, so yeah, this project I had ideas since middle school, and I had something set up for it, but then the pandemic happened, and that really put a damper on my motivation. And so now, like, I decided to revamp it, and I think I've all right, I can go in detail. So I have mentioned my horror film project, Werecat. Like, it's a found footage horror film. I've been wanting to do this for a while now, but now with the knowledge I have now and the connections I have now, I really want to put it into place. Like I've been really hammering in on this. Like I went to the Philadelphia Film Festival like a couple weekends ago. I went to watch a movie called Flow, which is a really good animation movie. In fact, it's being released in theaters later this month. I got an early screening to it. So
Darren.
yeah, and then I went to the lounge.
Aren't you privileged?
But yeah, I went to the lounge of this because a lot of the reason why people go to the film festivals is networking. So I have I got in contact with people with distributors and funders for this film. So I've been trying to make my up. I wanted to put my name out there. Get my name in the database. And I even was presented an opportunity to work in internships for the Philadelphia Film Society, paid internships.
It's cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I rewrote like the story a little bit. Like the core stuff is still there, but I'm adding stuff to it. And in fact, last weekend, Darren, Andrew, and then the following day, Gabe, Darren, and I were filming something. For this, doing a analog horror, thing, ARG thing to promote this film. To really get hype for it, because analog horror is like sort of a trend now on the internet. There's some like I watched stuff like Vita Carnis, one of my favorite analog horror series, and Greylock. Greylock is, I would say, the best analog horror I've seen, and it's definitely one of my favorites. In fact, that's where I got a lot of my inspiration from. And then I watch a lot of other horror stuff to get some ideas. Like I listened, I should say, because this is an audio series. There's this audio horror series that is available on Spotify and oh god, Darren.
I think we have a pest in the podcast.
Oh wait, the eyes move. Yeah, for the listener's sake, Darren put on a Spider-Man mask. Yeah. Oh god, that is awesome.
That's wow. Oh great! Now he's doing the Macarena or whatever.
All right. Oh, that is awesome there. That is pretty darn cool. Yeah, what was I going on about? An audio? Was it like the
found
audio
footage, Greylock?
Oh, the horror series that I got inspiration from. So there's this audio horror series that I got a lot of my inspiration from. It's called Baraska. Very good, but it's also very disturbing. This is funny. When I got to the season 1 finale, which is where the really disturbing stuff there, I was on my train to like college for this. I sat in my train for 20 minutes just staring and like just into the space, like trying to process what I listened to because it was very disturbing because like it actually put a void in my stomach. Like it was that bad.
There was a hole in your stomach?
No, it made me feel like that. Like I felt like I
okay.
genuinely wanted to vomit. That's how bad it affected me. But it's a really good story. I highly recommend if you're like into like horror stuff, psychological thriller, and in fact, that's where I got a lot of my ideas from. So my film has really been. I don't want to put too much out there because I want to generate, secrecy because it's meant to be a film. I mean, I told Gabe and Darren a bit about this, like the story of what I'm trying to tell here. So that's what. So yeah, filmmaking has been a career that I'm pretty much pursuing, and I made connections. In fact, I've been getting a lot of I'm putting my name out there and I'm taking classes. In fact, my acting class is taught by an actor, like who's been in a lot of movies and television shows. I can actually drop his name. His name is Marcus Giamatti. He's actually related to Paul Giamatti, if that name rings a bell. But Marcus Giamatti, he's in a lot of CIS like shows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then this actually got me so like proud of myself. I did a monologue tape of myself, in class, and after that, after like my second take, he told me if I was the director, you would be given the role, and that made me feel good about myself. I was like, dang, I got it. Yeah, but anyway, to get back on track, filmmaking is a career that I've wanted to do, and that's what I've been pursuing ever since. Yeah. So, yeah, Gabe, your turn.
Freaking muted the whole time.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, I already forgot the question.
What was your first job, and what is your career job? And what do you study in college, or what did you study in college?
My first job was for food prep at a restaurant over in a rural area where I live. I did that for.
Are you talking about
No, but yeah, I did that for a few months before I switched to a quality control job at a graphic finishing plant. But I ended up going to school for computer-aided drafting, which was nice. And I just graduated this past May. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And the job search was pretty hard. It took about 5 months. I finally just landed something this past week.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, I'm going through the paperwork now and all the government clearances. So,
can you go into detail about it, or is it
Oh no, It's a research and development position. I'd be an engineering tech.
Oh, okay,
So
that's a
mostly work on some satellites and government
ooh.
contracted things, which is cool.
I might have to ask you
Dang.
some stuff because my film involves some government conspiracies and stuff. Yeah, so
Dang.
And my dream job as a kid was a police officer, and it still kind of is. But yeah,
I mean, do you want to
Cool, man.
like still be? Well, I know you said it's still a dream job, but like,
it'd
are
be a
you like
backup plan if this engineering stuff doesn't work out.
okay, cool, cool.
Nice. Nice, Gabriel.
You know what's funny?
Thank
I
you.
think this might be a 2 hour long episode, but I don't care. I'm actually enjoying this.
For
Uh,
real. Sucks nobody else was here, but
yeah,
If they were, this
honestly,
would be 4 hours,
yeah. I was about to
I
say it
know.
would probably be a lot longer
and I'd
if we
like to
did.
go to sleep.
Because I didn't think that like we would take so long on each question. So I was like, well, if we take like 5 to 10 minutes on each question,
No,
I didn't know
I was
like
like
who
10
else was
seconds
was
on
gonna
each
be here.
question. You guys were like
For real.
30 minutes.
I don't
But
know.
it's
I'm
okay.
enjoying this. I'm
I
really
am
enjoying.
too.
So I want to do all these. There, I'm like, if are you guys okay with that? If we like hit all these, Darren, you brought so many good questions
Yeah.
here. I love these.
Yeah, we got like five more.
I'm down to
The
hit them
the
all.
one the one I can't really put an answer to, but yeah, let's just knock them out.
Yeah. So yeah, Darren,
So
what's the next one?
next one was, what are your plans for the future? Now maybe like, you know, like basically where do you see yourselves as an adult? Like your dream home. Maybe do you have a specific place that you want to live? Your dream car, maybe like what would be your, dream of seeing yourself as an adult? Well, I guess what are your plans for the future and your dream stuff? I mean, you can pursue it and get like your dream stuff, but um, then I also put like, where do you see yourself as an adult? So, like, basically, if you want to like start a family and you think that you'll be in your same profession until then.
Okay.
My dream home, I'm not really um, word I'm looking for. Like, it's the like it's not humble to call yourself humble, but like any home that has a roof over my head and protects me from the weather.
And other
It
people.
can be like just a regular townhouse or something, or um, so as long as I have working heat, AC, power, roof, but like it has to be nice too, of course. But my requirements for a home is a driveway and a garage. If I don't have that, no for me, because I like working on my vehicles and I want my own private driveway. I don't want to like park on the road. If it has a driveway and no garage, make it work. If you have a garage, you kind of have to have a driveway to it. So, but I mean,
Garage, no
as lo-
driveway.
I know it's just field,
it's
but
just a. It's
No, the
just
driveway's
grass.
right up against the road. Or the
oh my gosh,
garage.
yeah.
Oh, that would be horrible. Oh God.
Oh my
Imagine
gosh.
trying to get out in the morning.
I mean,
Oh.
technically, in alleyways, that is,
I
like
mean,
that's what
yeah,
happens.
no,
Like
like that
in
technically,
alleyways,
and
they're like
parking
right on the
garages,
side,
I guess, but like,
right? But yeah, I mean, just it doesn't have to be you know extravagant, but location. Like, I don't want to live right in the middle of the city, in like a big city, but I also don't want to live in the middle of nowhere. Kind of like somewhere in the middle, like,
would you say like where we are now?
yeah, like where I'm at is actually perfect because like we have a couple neighbors, but they're quiet and nothing happens, and they're all older. And
Mm-hmm.
downtown is less than 10 minutes away. I mean, Walmart's like 15 minutes away. The nearest like big city's like 20 minutes. So everything is kind of far from my house, but we don't live like in the middle of nowhere too.
Yeah.
So just kind of somewhere in between where it's quiet, but then if my friends are like, hey, I want to do something, or family's like, hey, you want to go out to eat, or I got to make a run to like the store quick, and then it's not that far. Um, and somewhere where like if our town or if our city does something for the season, we can attend it.
Mm-hmm.
Like our town, they do like
So
seasonal
much, so
events and
much
stuff. Yeah.
events.
Um, you know, a car. I really want a Dodge Durango RT, the 5.7 Hemi. I really, I just like the Durangos. Like it's like a truck with 3 rows. I mean, it does
Ooh,
everything a truck can do, but it's
like a
like a
pickup truck, right?
SUV. Yeah,
Or okay.
Oh, that
yeah,
is nice.
like um, it's a 3-row SUV, but it acts and and sounds and works like a truck.
Oh
I
wow.
just love bigger vehicles like that. I love my car, of course, but I just love, riding above everyone else and making a presence on the road. I like that. I like driving bigger vehicles. I do plan on having a family at some point when I'm ready. Obviously, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to rush anything because my thing is I like because I know a lot of people wait until they're older and established and then they do it. But then the thing is, you don't really spend as much as your life with your children as if you have them like a bit younger, like in your 20s. So you can spend more of your life with them and grow older with them and see their
Mm-hmm.
grandkids. But just whenever I feel like I'm in a good spot in life, but I do plan on having a family. Um, I definitely do not see myself staying in the same profession that I'm in now. Like I said, I don't know if I might go back to school later in life and pursue like a machine job, like I was saying, or like a trade job or mechanic, um,
Mm.
which I might pursue a mechanic actually. Because imagine having something go wrong with your car, your friend's car, family car, and you already know how to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is just buy the
Plus, you're a
part.
reliable resource to your
You
other
already
friends
know.
too. Like
Yeah.
you.
Like if you're like, hey, like, this happened with my car, come look at it. Oh yeah, I know what that is. You can give me like 2 hours and I'll have it done.
Yeah.
Just
Hey, Darren, help!
it
My
just
engine's missing. I don't know where it went.
well, I can't help you with that because it's in my garage. I took it for myself. It's used for parts now. But yes, I mean, like I said, I don't need a big extravagant home. Um, Rural, I guess, would be the right term for where I want to live at.
I would guess maybe
Just
suburban, even like I guess.
Suburban,
suburban. Yeah,
rural.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
like our area basically is suburban rural.
Yeah. Like I said, just a bigger car too. I'd like to start a family at some point. So where I see myself as an adult, I see myself living comfortably. I don't see myself, living all fancy and having a bunch of money. Honestly, I wouldn't want that either. Just enough to live comfortably and just be happy and, in the small things in life.
Nice, 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 very nice. Funny enough, I think Darren, you and I have some similar standards with that, which is funny enough.
Nice.
So, like dream home, like especially with my profession in filmmaking, like if I do make it big, which I don't really see myself doing, but if like I somehow make a name in like Hollywood, or like even like some of the like smaller parts, even like there's not just Hollywood, like there's like other like sub orders, I guess you could call them, like steps, I guess you could say,
Yeah, like
like
a
indie
subdivision kind
yeah,
of.
subdivisions, yeah, that's a good description. Like if I make it there, I'll obviously like have lots of money if I do get to that part, and like I could live in like a fancy house, but personally I don't see the hype of like living in a big mansion. I really don't. Like yes, they're nice and fancy and all that, but like I don't know. I just feel like I'm too much for me. Like, I'm perfectly happy with a suburban house. I would say that's like the minimum for me. Just a suburban, because I don't want to live in the city. I know I'm kind of like jumping things with like locations and stuff and dream house, but it's kind of related. Like, I don't want to live in the city. I don't want to live in an apartment because I lived in the city with my college scene, and I really didn't like it. I It was just the life I that was not for me. And I would say for like my house, like all like a suburban house, a garage, and also I want to have a studio room. I would love to have that, like where I could do like film stuff there, record stuff there, and maybe even like have like a gaming setup there, or something, just like, that space for myself, besides, the other essentials for a house, like a kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, living room, etc. But like I want to have like a studio room. So yeah, location, I kind of already nailed that. Suburban rural house. Like, I would want to have something like that. Dream car. I would say a dream car of mine has always been a Hellcat.
Yeah.
I really like the Hellcat, but like I have currently a Toyota Camry, and I love that thing. Like, Toyota is a very good like car brand because it's very Japanese cars in general are very reliable. Like, all I ask for a car is that it's reliable. Like, it can last for uh, a long amount of time, and a lot of Japanese cars do that. And so that's why I've always been a stickler for Japanese cars. So especially, so yeah, I would say Toyota opened up. So I'm comfortable with like a Toyota, even a Honda, even at some point. I know Gabe is happy that I said Honda,
You bet.
but yeah, I would say I would like, if I could get a Hellcat, like I might drive it, but I honestly don't see myself to that. But like, if I do get that, then I probably would. And what was it? Start a family. I'm with Darren here. I would love to start a family at some point. I definitely want to. It's just, I would say it's more so when I'm ready. Like, right now, it would be too much. I'm in college, obviously. So, and I would just feel and I would love to meet a partner at some point. I've been thinking about dating recently, honestly, but at the same time, I've been like, I want to focus on my work right now, like what I want to do with myself, have that freedom, you know, because the single life, you do have a lot of freedom. So, yeah, but but yes, I would love to start a family at some point, and I would say like maybe like if I were to see myself at that point, like probably like late 20s, early 30s, that would be the timeline I would give myself. But
I say for myself too. Yeah.
mhm. And where do I see myself as an adult? Like, sort of the same thing as I said, like really working on filmmaking, like really pursuing that. I don't see my profession and career changing because, again, this is something I've been doing since like elementary. This is a passion of mine I had. I have not let it go. Nothing has changed. I've been doing this. So I don't see myself changing for that. And just, you know, sort of like what Darren said, just living comfortably in a house, like, and just enjoying like the stuff that I have.
It's funny I said, like, where do you see yourself as an adult, as if we're not adults already? I meant
Yeah,
like
yeah, like
like
future,
10
future.
years.
Yeah, 10,
Yeah.
10 or like, as I said, if I do make it big, which I think is unlikely, but who you don't know. But like, in the offshoot that it does happen, I would not. I don't like, for one. I do not want to live in LA. Like, I don't like, one. The cost is horrendous, and the place is horrendous in general.
Yeah.
Um, but like, I think like what Darren said, like nothing, like rural suburban area, not in the middle of like bumfuck nowhere, but not in the city either. I'm just Darren almost choked in his water. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, basically the same thing as you said.
The heck?
Yeah, but yeah, basically, yeah, just a suburban house, living life. If I had my family, then we'd be chilling.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm. All right, Gabe, what about you?
Gabriel.
Well, let's start with dream home. I really don't care. Well, actually, I lied. I do. I'd like to move out eventually once I get
Oh
all the
yeah, definitely. I think we
insurance
all do.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Some people don't. They just want to be in a basement or something. But
Right.
yeah, I'd like to get my own apartment within the next year or two once I get settled and make enough money. And I'd like it. Yeah, apartments. Maybe a townhouse. I don't know. Because the
Yeah.
houses that are like split in the middle, and you like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and you share maybe. But I know it's pretty expensive around here, so I don't know. I'd have to
Oh
see
yeah,
that
it
Yeah.
is.
if the
It
housing
is.
market changes. But
Hopefully, it does. I'm
yeah,
hopefully.
uh, location, I'd say ideally I'd like to be in the middle of nowhere.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yes, just away from people, just trees and plants. That's it.
I mean, I've always liked nature as well. Like, I love the woods. Like, I love the forest. Like the stuff. But I would say the reason why that's holding me back from saying like middle of nowhere is because I want to have access to resources and stuff. Like, I want to have like a good drive to like a marketplace, like a
Oh yeah,
grocery
I
store and
understand
stuff.
that.
Like,
What I'm
yeah.
saying is I'd like my neighbors to be 3/4 of a mile away.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
get
it's
that.
possible to find like a home out in the woods that's only like 20 minutes away from
Yeah.
Yeah.
civilization.
I think that's possible. Yeah.
I mentioned location, and we kind of answered it in terms of
Like,
like neighborhoods, but I mean like also location geographical too. Like it
oh
like
yeah, that's true. Like because we're all
Ah,
Pennsylvania based.
yes, Mount
I don't
Everest.
know if I'm like for me, I don't know if I'm gonna live in PA my entire life. It's kind of hard to move out when all your friends and family are
Yeah,
here.
that's what's really holding me back
But
too. Because we have grown up with each other, as I said. We grown up with each other. And friendships like this is very special.
right, like if if I were to move out, I'd be like kind of starting over, and then you have to start a new job. But as long as Pennsylvania's a decent place to live, and then I guess I'll stay. But unless I have any other reason to leave, then probably not anytime soon.
Like ideally, I want to live. I could live in Pennsylvania. Like ideally, as I said, because I have I have a life here that I cherish. But at the same time, with my job, like if I with my future career, I'm probably gonna have to be moving closer to like entertainment industries and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, although Pennsylvania is growing an entertainment industry here, which is funny enough. It's not as big as say like L.A. and Atlanta, but it's getting there. Like Philadelphia, as much as I'm not a big fan of Philadelphia, it is like I would say it's basically like Pennsylvania, LA.
Yeah.
But
I
it is
mean,
what it is.
yeah, Gabe. You have intentions of like starting a family, or do you see yourself going through with your same profession in the
Well,
next
hold
like
on. He
five
needs
to
to
ten
say his
years?
dream car first.
Yeah, I need to actually finish saying the question after I was waiting patiently. But yeah, well, yeah, dream car. Honestly, a Honda Accord
Okay.
because I love Honda.
Yeah.
I have an '04 Honda Civic right now, base
And
model.
you never
But
shut up about it.
I know, almost like you
Nice
with
car.
the Godzilla. But
Fair. That is fair.
yeah, but it serves me well. Gets me from point A to point B. Excellent gas mileage. I can last 2 weeks in one tank.
There
So
you go.
Nice.
I'd like to have those same specs, but I'd like to have a bigger car. So the Accord is an intermediate sized car, and it's bigger than the Civic. So that's what I want.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Nice.
And starting a family, not yet.
But you would like to.
That's yeah. When I'd like to, but honestly, I'm in no position to support a family right now.
Oh, none of us
Nonetheless,
are. I would
create
say.
one, and I don't think it's responsible at this time to do that.
I don't think any of us. I mean, well, the only one in our group, I think, in our podcast group that's really going through is Lewis, if I'm thinking correctly.
Yeah.
Because I think didn't they have like a what is it it's not engagement ring, but it's like the promise ring
Oh,
or
the
whatever,
promise ring, yeah.
right? Am I correct
I
there?
have no idea what the hell those are, what their purpose
No,
is.
they're actually getting married.
Oh, really?
They're
Oh,
engaged, I think. Yeah.
oh, wow. Oh, God, wow.
Yep.
That's
He's
crazy.
engaged.
Oh, wow. Lewis engaged. Wow, that is crazy to think about.
Oh,
Yep.
a promise ring is a ring given to show commitment in a romantic relationship. Well, that's just an engagement ring.
Bro.
Yeah,
What the hell's the
I don't
difference?
know. Yeah, like same thing. It's weird,
Well,
but
you put it on the other hand.
Not like that. I flicked it. Go,
uh,
Cam.
but yeah. What's the next part of that question? Where do you see yourself? Like, was it like 10 or 20 years from
Uh,
Like,
well,
do you plan to
hopefully,
keep the same career that you have now?
I'd like to, yes, in the same ballpark. Because I don't know, I might switch around a bit. I don't know. I want to see where this new job goes to because I haven't started my first day yet.
now?
Nice,
Nice,
nice.
nice,
So
nice,
all the
nice.
clearances and checks.
All right, Brick.
But
So
yeah,
awesome. We have a couple questions left. We'll kind of get through this. So, little deeper. Another one. No, I don't think I got that one, but yeah, we're gonna go a little deeper here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Have you ever lost a pet, and how did you deal with the loss? So I figured these would be good for if the viewers have, will relate to us in some way.
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe we
one.
have some good advice, or just to let them know that they're not the only ones. Have you ever lost a pet, and how did you deal with it? So obviously, I've been through that before. Um, I used to have my very first pet was a guinea pig. I was like really young. Um, she probably lived about as long as they usually do. And she passed away. Um, any other? I had another guinea pig that actually the one that I still have now. There was another one with her. That one passed.
Oh,
Um, not not too long after I got them actually.
oh.
And then I don't know if you guys remember. Well, okay, so my grandparents have had two dogs that I've
Yeah, I
known
was
for like a
about to
long
say, wasn't there a
time.
story? Because I know your brother was devastated by this, if I'm remembering this correctly.
Yeah, they had two golden retrievers and they were rescue dogs, and they both passed. And then she also had another like smaller dog. She was old. Like I'm telling you, like she outlived, her expectancy. I mean, she was like at least over a decade old. I mean, she was getting up there, and she was like losing her vision, hearing. She passed away, but I mean, I've known them dogs for a long time. I mean, they've had them since they were pups. Um, I don't know if you guys remember the story of we used to have um, a dog.
This is the story that I was thinking about.
I think he was a rescue deer. Like we got him around, I don't know, 2019. I think. He couldn't see. He was born without. No, no, no. Sorry, he was born deaf. He was born deaf. And he like wasn't that old before he passed. What ended up happening was one of the neighbors. was walking one day, and I guess the dog wasn't on like a leash or something because we had a collar, and bit the neighbor, but it didn't break through the skin. Um, and made like a big deal about it, and my grandfather even paid for her to go to the urgent care and get whatever they did. And she was exaggerating about it and came out in like the wheelchair stuff for like the smallest thing. I mean, like I said, it didn't even break the skin. And to make matters even worse, her daughter was involved in insurance, so she filed a claim. We tried to fight it. They decided that we had to put the dog down, and it was very tough because it's not like as the dog was deaf, so it's very protective.
I was about to say, as one
So
sense goes, others are heightened, and that can also
yeah, so
result in.
it's not like we just had to put him down. Like we had to be there for it and like experience it. Probably one of the harder times in my life because we
Yeah.
went to the vet even the night before. Like I was like crying about it, and I was just looking at him, and I was like, dude, you have no idea what's coming tomorrow. I just
Oh.
felt like so bad. And then when we got there, we couldn't like separate from him because, like I said, he was very like protective and deaf. So they gave him the one shot to immobilize him, and then the last shot that did the job, and we had to be there for it, and basically watch him pass, and
Oh.
like just watch him like immobilize, and then just be there. And a very very tough time for me, and um
Yeah.
it's just sad, dude. But
Dude, yeah.
yeah, that's probably like one of the harder times in my life being through that. But
Yeah, I
um,
know your brother was absolutely devastated. I remember that.
yeah, I actually speaking. Hold on,
Ooh.
this makes me. This made me emotional when I got it, but the the vet actually gave us a little thing for his paw print.
Oh.
Oh.
His name was Leo.
Oh.
And like I said, he wasn't that old too.
Yeah.
July 30th, 2020. So it was very tough being there and experiencing it. It's hard to forgive your neighbor when they do something like that, but
Oh, I bet.
you have to. I mean, life moves on, but um, yeah, it's a very very tough time. Um, I want to see. I was already here. Let me see.
You should send me that neighbor's address.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I live
that.
right next door.
I'm gonna do a state survey.
Little puppy.
Oh, that was him.
What breed?
That was my youngest brother. Um,
Oh,
it was like a pit bull
oh, yeah, I
mixed
forget.
with like
I was about to say
something
that
else,
wouldn't
but
help with the stereotype either with pit bulls.
like he wasn't old. Like you see him, like
Yeah.
Yeah, he
he
looks
was
like
a
a
pup,
pup. He looks like a pup. That makes it a
and it
little
was
that.
me.
Oh, yeah, I
But
was about to say that makes it even more devastating to think about.
yeah, I mean, stuff like that, you can't do anything. You can't fight it. You have to let it go. But that's kind of. But yeah, so I mean, I've had my fair share of being around animal deaths. I said a couple guinea pigs and dogs, but um, really how I dealt with it. I mean, like I said, nothing I could do. Just
Yeah,
sit there and
it's
take
out
it.
of your control.
Obviously, it took like a week before I got over it, but
Oh, I bet.
as life goes on, you it's easier to deal with stuff like that. But
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think about him every once in a while. He didn't deserve what he went through, but
Yeah.
I can just
Yeah,
hope that he knows
it's
that he was
tragic. It's
loved.
very tragic.
But yeah, I mean that's all I really got for that.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll go next. I didn't have much. I don't really have lost a pet. I mean, technically, I did. I lost some fish. I used to have a fish tank when I was really young, but I wasn't exactly attached to it.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like
Yeah, I know. No, no. It's funny to think about because I wasn't exactly, it fish.
I mean, they
It's
don't live that long either.
yeah. I don't live that long either, so I wasn't. It's not like a cat or a dog or anything like that
Right, yeah.
that
Especially
you can
like
show
favorite
genuine.
fish.
Yeah. I would say, but I had a very close one. I had a very close one, and that was with my one cat, Ginny. She, if anyone who doesn't know, Ginny's one of the kittens that I had that was born like a couple years ago. Love her, and loved all the other kittens that were born at the time. She was born as a hermaphrodite. So basically, yeah, her base to the point where her urinary tract and her reproductive tract, as well as her butt, like her butt, were fused into one. So we had to get surgery done for her because she honestly could not you know live that long if she was kept in that state. Um, they did the surgery, which is a very rare type of surgery, but our vet found the guy and they did it. But it was first shown that she wasn't exactly perform like when she did the surgery. She woke up from it. After being under what do you call that?
Anesthesia.
Anesthesia. Yes. She wasn't doing very well to the point where we thought we were going to have to euthanize her. Put her out of her misery. I did not take that very well at first. But then when we were going there on the day that she was supposed to be put down, I prayed about it. I'm sorry, guys. Whew.
It's one thing when they like unexpectedly do it, but when you know it's gonna happen
Yeah,
and like
it was the
the
day
like
that we
the
saw her going.
hour
Yeah.
closing in, you're like, man,
Yeah, it was on the day that we were going to say her farewell. She pulled through.
dang.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional over this.
That's all right.
Ooh,
Hard not
but
to.
yeah,
I know,
I
yeah.
did not expect myself to cry on the Digital Pandemonium podcast. Holy shit.
We
Him and
break
I
rules
almost
every
did
day,
too,
Harrison.
man.
But yeah, we prayed about it and she pulled
I
through.
almost did too.
Yeah, she's a soldier. Now she's living with us. I would say that's the closest I got to it.
Does she still like her boxes?
Yeah, she loves her boxes. She loves sitting on them and flattening on them because she's fat. uh, but love her. She's a social little butterfly. Yeah, Gabe, you can go. I'll be right back. I need to the dishes.
Okay. Well, I had two that have passed. The first family pet, her name was Tesla. This was before the Elon Musk stuff, so don't make any jokes. But I
Okay.
couldn't pronounce the L as a kid, so I always said Tessa. I could never
Oh my
pronounce the
gosh.
L for Tesla. And she was a big lab, like huge, chunky, a unit. But uh, yeah, I had her for since she was older than me. My dad got her in I think it was 97,
Oh wow.
1997, I think.
Dang.
And I was born in '03, so 8, 9, 6. Yeah, that'd be 6 years. And then when I was born, she lasted. I might have got the numbers wrong, but she lasted till 2010.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I got her birth date wrong. It might have been 99, but I was like, I think I was like 5 or 6 then. I was just starting out with first grade, and we just moved. And uh, one day she just stopped eating and just didn't want to move. And it was hard to move her because she's pretty big, but
You said she's a
she
unit.
was a unit. But oh, she a lover. Uh, yeah, she actually saved us one time. We have a we had a gas operated fireplace, and one night it turned itself on by itself, and it got so hot to the point that you could smell the paint on the wall melting.
Ooh,
Dang.
And luckily, Tessa was down there to alert everyone that something was clearly wrong.
like
And
barking and stuff, and
oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's
because
good.
she never barks. She never, unless there's something wrong. So yeah, while we were all sleeping too, so it was good she caught that.
oh yeah,
But
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that
this
would've
was
been
about a year
longer.
before she died, I think. But yeah, in 2010, yeah, she just stopped eating, couldn't go up the steps, didn't want to move, uh, and mom and dad took her to the vet, and that's the last time I saw her. But
Oh.
yeah, we have her ashes downstairs on the mantle.
Aw.
But yeah, and not unsurprisingly, her ashes are in a huge bag because she was massive. But so we got this nice little mantle case for her, but even
Wow.
her ashes prove she was a unit. But she was a good girl, and
Oh, she sounds like a very good dog.
yeah, and next one was my guinea pig Bandit. We had her till pretty sure it was like 2016, I think. Got her in, I think it was 2013. It's about 3 or 4 years we had her. Guinea pigs don't live very long, but this
Five,
one
6 years.
we named her Bandit.
Might be.
Oh,
Aw,
that thing cute.
that's cute. We named ours Bandit because for the way her fur pattern was, there was a black patch over the eye, so
Yeah.
it was like a little eye patch. So we always called her Bandit. But
Wow.
she gets so excited when you come home. She'd run around the cage and everything, and then she'd start nibbling on the cage and gnawing at it, jumping off the little
Wow.
balcony in her cages, doing rolls or whatever. She was so fun. And
That sounds fun.
one day she got real sick, and their lungs are the size of sugar cubes. They're real small.
Mm.
She got a cold one day and didn't recover from it, and died in my dad's arms when he was taking her out to pet her.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it was real sad. But yeah.
Well, at least I guess, like, to think about it, she died in the warm embrace of someone that cared. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to think it like
And
that.
I'm already mentally prepared for my current dog Pepper. She's 13 years old now.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, like, a lot of the stuff that she's going through. Didn't you say, like, a week or something? Or.
No, I said like within the year,
Oh,
around
okay.
within the year. There were her seizures have been coming back. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Wow.
actually grab the whole freaking box of tissues. I think these
I
next
think I made
questions are gonna
Harrison's crying a little
prove that I
worse. My
might need
bad.
them.
It'll come be a sad day.
Yeah.
Sad day when that happens.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, but
But
I
how
always
did you deal with, like, I guess Tessa? Because it sounds like you were really close with Tessa.
I was. I don't remember most of it, but because I was a kid then, but I had a really good bond with her, according to my dad. But yeah, I could never pronounce the L for her name. Her name was Tesla, but I always said Tessa, and I still call her that.
But like, did I'm just asking about the grieving process? Like,
I
what
didn't
was it?
understand it then at that age, so
Okay. You
I
were
didn't really
that
deal with
young.
it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense.
Wow.
but thankfully, to some mental disorders I have, I can disconnect myself from my feelings, and I'll be okay. So I
Yeah.
can I deal with grief a lot differently than the traditional human. but unless it's like severely traumatic, like I had my parents killed in front of me or something, but which would be awful, and I hope that never happens.
Right.
Like Batman,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Gotham
Gabe's,
City.
Gabe's origin story there.
Yeah, Gabe's
Oh my
origin
gosh.
story. But yeah, I have the ability to just disconnect and not feel anything for a little bit, which is good because in a way it's a gift and a curse. Because a gift because I can use that and I can stay focused in like dire situations where I need to act quickly, and yeah, and a curse being because then I get labeled as like he's
Non-empathetic
not
or
crying, he's not empathetic, he's a psychopath or something
yeah.
like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm very good at keeping my composure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good.
All
But
right.
also something a little sadder, or more sad, I should say. Have you ever lost a family member, and how did you deal with the loss?
All right, boys, get your
Um,
tissues out. We're going
so,
down this route. Oh my gosh, we're going so much lore, so much lore drop.
so fortunately, um, by the grace of God, I have not had to deal with that yet.
Mm.
I have both my parents, my grandparents, brothers, sisters. Um, haven't really had to experience anything like that yet. Um, it's like it's kind of one of those things that you're never ready for.
Oh, absolutely
Even
not.
if the doctor tells you like, hey, like they may not, wake up tomorrow morning. It's still like you're not ready. When they actually go. Um, Really, the only family member that I had to deal with was my great grandmother, my grandmother's mom.
Oh wow.
They, my grandfather built an in-law quarter here at this house, and they moved her in there. She had like dementia and
Oh.
stuff, and she was like going crazy. Like she would call the cops over, and say that like, um, and say that somebody was like breaking into the house or stuff, and there was like no one there. Or she would like leave the faucet on in the sink and like flood the entire place. Like she
Oh.
was just going like crazy. So,
Yikes.
when she passed, my grandmother's sister asked me if I wanted, and I was young too. Asked if I wanted to. They did like the memorial at a church, um, and then she was asking if I wanted to read a Bible verse
Mm.
up front in front of everyone. It was kind of weird that she picked me out of everyone, but everything happens for a reason. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, it didn't really hit me till I seen my grandmother crying. That's when it's like, yeah, like that's her mom, like, you know. But like I said, I'm really fortunate, that I haven't had to experience that yet, and hope it stays that way for a long time because
Yeah.
I'm definitely not ready for it. But
Yeah.
I
I'm
can't
in.
really dig deep into that myself.
Yeah.
But
I have a bit
fortunately,
of some stories with that because I have dealt with it. I had an uncle that decided that life was too much for him, and yeah,
yeah,
that was rough.
I'm sorry, but yeah, sorry, but I totally forgot. But yeah, when I said that my brother's dad passed, he took his own life too.
Yeah.
So that was tough dealing with that. But
Yeah, that one hurt. I mean, I wasn't really close to him, but it is what it is. Damn it, I'm getting emotional for this. What the fuck, Harrison?
All right, take 5.
it's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Tough.
like diffuse myself. I'm not trying to get over this, but then
Oh, man, it's
I
tough.
would say the closest I dealt with was both my grandparents on my that side. I mean, my grandfather was a different story because he was in and out of the hospital like beginning of like that year that I went down
Yeah.
to Texas that one time, to visit them, and that was like, and then he went to the hospital like right after my dad and I left. But he was like active. We were having a good old time, just connecting. And then he went to the hospital. And we were told like he's been in and out of the hospital that year, so I was expecting it. But as Darren said, you can't prepare for it. I mean,
Right.
how I reacted to it when my grandfather passed was I was just kind of just shocked. Like I wasn't emotional. My dad was because that was his dad. But
Right. Yeah.
I was there just because I guess it was sort of that preparation, like knowing, but it was at that same time like you don't prepare for it. And I was just
Right.
standing like I just was blank. Like I was like I don't want to say motionless, but like I was definitely reacting in some way. But it was more so just like, oh, wow. And then my grandmother passed. I was closer to my grandmother than it was my grandfather, even though I loved him dearly. That one, I kind of had the same reaction too, because I was expecting it, but at the same time, you don't prepare for it. So I was just shocked, like just sit there, and then it would just hit me like later, where I was like, "Damn!" But yeah. Anyway, Gabe,
Sorry to hear, Harrison.
before I make myself more of a mess.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with loss in the family. It's happened quite a bit. Earliest I'd say would be my great grandfather. He died at 89. That was in 2015 from Alzheimer's complications with that. Well, we all knew it was how it was going to go down that route, but it was real hard seeing him gradually forget who his family is and eventually how to walk and then finally how to breathe. But yeah, again, the coping mechanism for that I have, I can like disassociate my feelings with like everything else, which is healthy. No, actually, it's kind of unhealthy in a way, but
As you said, it's a blessing and a curse. So
yeah, it helps prevent loss of composure, I guess, for lack of better terms. But yeah, and a couple years later, 2019, I lost my aunt to triple negative breast cancer
oh,
complications from that.
yikes!
She
Triple
left
negative.
behind at the time a 14-year-old daughter too,
Oh
Oh,
man.
which was yeah, that was tough.
oh, yikes! Oh,
The funeral turnout was spectacular though. We had about, I think it was like 530 some people came, which was
wow.
amazing.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's,
she made a huge impact on her community and the church, and we held it at that church that me and you went to, Harrison.
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know they did funeral services before,
I didn't know
but
that either.
I think it was a special request, but they had it done in the West Wing, which was cool.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a lot tougher than all the other ones, like your grandparents or whatever. Because I say I was close with my aunt, closer than others, but it was definitely unexpected
Hmm.
towards
Yeah.
the end.
Right.
But
Man, fuck cancer.
yeah, and the next one would be my great grandmother, which just passed this year in July.
Oh,
Lived till 96. She
wow.
died from complications after hip replacement surgery at
Hmm.
96, which is amazing.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
about to
But
say
Right. Yeah.
96. That
yeah,
is an
her
accomplishment on
her
its
immune
own.
system couldn't keep up, and it just gave
Yeah.
out. But
Hmm.
yeah, she's always been there. She was the matriarch of the family for a very long time, and yeah, it was real tough seeing her towards the end. And I visited her at the hospital about I think it was about 2 weeks before she passed. But yeah, that was the last time I saw her then. But yeah, it was tough. That one probably one of the worst ones. But yeah, same way I dealt with all the other ones, the coping mechanism.
Yeah. That reminds me, the funeral thing, that reminds me before we move on, I want to just tell you this story. That reminds me, I went to because, I've been to funerals like left and right. Like, well, not like, it's not like every day I go to one, but, I've been to my fair share of funerals. One of them was, this one had because this guy had a tremendous impact. It was a police officer. I think he was actually a lieutenant or something. Wait, hold on. I have the photo. I actually have the newsreel, the news broadcasting of this. Let me find
Is that
this.
the one where he talks him off the ledge?
Huh? Oh, he was a chief inspector.
Oh.
He was one of the first Asian Chinese American officers in, I think, Pennsylvania, and maybe even like nationwide or something, like one of the first Chinese American police officers. So he had a very big impact. And I went to the funeral. Like, this was something I've never seen before. Like, it was like, police officers, standing, like soldier, like we had a police escort through Philadelphia. And that was the fastest I ever been, through Philadelphia. Cause, there was police, everything. We had like, police motorcycles, police cars, even like SWAT, like really armored vehicles, like, escorting us. That was that's what we like to joke about. Like, wow, we have never been through Philadelphia that fast before.
Yeah.
Because police are like telling move over, move. And then the funeral thing, like there was a lot of people there, like because this was this guy was impactful. That was like, it's not, I wouldn't say it was like a great experience like in that sense, but it was like an experience that I've never been, ever seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we can continue on. What's the next one?
Yeah, I mean,
this probably is going to be a
it,
2 hour long, but I don't care. This is good. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to hear, guys. I can imagine losing both of my grandparents too, and even aunts and uncles, but it's the unfortunate part of life.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
It's
Yeah, I
inevitable.
mean, it's just hard to be ready for it and think about it.
Yes. Even if you do prepare for yourself for it, like, it's still like, as we said, you're never prepared for it. It hits you like a rock. No, it hits you like a truck. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
But 2 more questions and then we're done. Biggest obstacle in life and how did you overcome it? Example, you might have lost your job and the domino effect of what came after that, moved into a new environment, got put out of your comfort zone. Biggest obstacle in life. Just to make it short, back in, like I said earlier in the episode, about 2017 wasn't a good year for me. It's because, like I said, my dad and mom were separated when I think like, I don't think it was before I was born, but it was like right around there. And my dad wanted me to move up with him and live with him because my mom had full custody like my entire life. So he wanted me to move up with him, and he said something to me and was like, "Hey, how would you feel about moving up here with me?" And I was like 14 or yeah, like 13, 14. And I was like, hold on. How old was I? No, I was freshman year of high school because I only did half a year here. And okay, yeah, so I'm so sorry because 2017 I would have been like 16. So, anyways, like he said that to me, I was like, sure, why not? Like, try something different. I'd love to move up here. But young me didn't realize that we had to go to court, do all this stuff, and got to the point where I was, my mom was getting mad, my grandparents were getting mad because they were like, we've taken care of you your entire life, and then he just wants to come and, you know, and take you. I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna like see you guys ever again. Um, and it was a lot of mental stress on me because I was telling my mom, that I wanted to live with her so that I didn't make her feel bad. Telling my dad that I wanted to live with him, even though I didn't really know where I wanted to live at that point. And since I was 16 and stuff, the judge gave me that choice because he pulled me in. He was like, it's up to you. And it's tough for me because once it happened, you know, um, my mom had mentioned something too, but I was basically lying to her, saying that I wanted to live with her when deep down, I wanted to live with my dad, and a lot of mental stress on that. With me being young too. Basically choosing between my mom or my dad. Um, I have a lot of love for my family. I I put them high up. Like I love my family a lot, so it's hard having to pick between one or the other. And I have my family, be emotional about it, and then I left and went with my dad, and it like was a spiral of mental problems, and I was going. I don't want to say it was like a depression thing, but it was just being out of my comfort zone, being in a new environment, realizing what I was leaving behind and seeing my family be like broken by that. So then a bunch of stuff happened, and then like I said, it was kind of a depressive thing for me, and then I ended up moving back because I was like running away from home. I was just I was out doing things I shouldn't have been doing and getting in trouble. I was failing school. I was like F's and everything. I didn't try. I was skipping school a lot. And so I ended up coming back and um, picking up where I left off. And that's when I, um, started back at school and met you guys after that. But um, how I overcame that, I mean, I was young. Like I said, I realized what I was missing out on and came back, and just let time heal. That's really when I started praying and got my heart right with God, and then you know um, He made a way for me and fixed everything for me. So
That's
all
good.
praise the Yahweh, brother.
Good.
Also, last year I lost my job. Like I said, I lost that manufacturing job for like 4.5 months. I was falling behind on bills, trying to do DoorDash, and that wasn't working. Constantly asking, my family for money and to pay my bills. And even, well, the only bills I really was worried about was my car payment. Everything else, I really did not care if I fell behind or lost my phone line or lost my insurance. I really didn't care at all because there's nothing I could do. I couldn't find a job. And also kind of going through like a depressive thing because it's not the fact that you lost the job, it's everything that comes after that. Um, and that's when I found not my current job. I had another job, but I don't really like saying I worked there. It was dead end. I hated that that place. But how I got through it, I kept praying. I just kept on fighting and kept on fighting, never gave up, and then um, I got a job finally and got back on my feet. But
Epic.
yeah, so everybody goes through obstacles, but
Yeah.
just keep fighting. It'll get better one day. Just know that hard times don't last.
Yeah.
There's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep fighting.
Yeah. All right. So biggest obstacle in my life. I might name two. This one. Oh God, this is really gonna. This is going into a deep, dark thing that I've been pretty open about this, but like I don't think I've ever said this on this podcast. I think it was like ending of 2019 into 2020, probably even like like afterwards or something like that. I was going through a very tough time mentally, and like I think it was like depression, even, and it got to the point where I almost offed myself, like almost hanged myself from this ceiling fan right here.
Dang.
But
I remember you said that, or because we were like arguing about something
yeah,
with
I was almost gonna text a
the
goodbye.
group chat,
I was almost gonna text a goodbye text.
and then Harrison, like, he said something. We were like, whoa, 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 whoa. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
And we all made it up.
Yeah, but it was mainly, I would say it was mainly because I kept it in, never told anyone. Because, men, we're not supposed to feel anything.
Damn straight.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's what we're trained to be.
Yeah. But I would say, like, I don't want to get religious, but, it sort of is. I felt like I was told, now's not my time. So I was open. I told my parents about it, and I got the help. Sorry, guys. Oh God.
That's right.
Oh God, I'm a mess. But yeah, I even got baptized afterwards from it. So
There you go. Yep.
I remember that.
yeah, but yeah, I think it was just like try to be. That made me want to be more open about myself. And then the second one was a more recent one with college. Like I was living I was living on campus with, I was trying something new. This was my first time like really living off on my own. I mean, sure, I had roommates, but you know, that was, but technically, I couldn't rely on my parents, for everything. I had to buy stuff for myself and all that. And during my time there, I would say I did some things I was not proud of. Like I went to college parties, like towards the beginning of the year. I did some things involving with women that I am not particularly proud of, like very unholy things. Like not to the point where that like I did not lose my virginity, but it got very close to such. And like it I would say like I that is when I started developing lust. Like, to the point where I was not viewing people in the way, like, especially women, in the way that I should be. Like, viewing them as pleasure, if you know what I mean. And during my spring break, I broke down in front of my mom, and I decided that starting this year, technically, next year, this year, like next semester, which is this semester, I would not be living on campus because, my spiritual health and my mental health comes first. So that's how I dealt with that.
No, and your physical health.
And my physical health. Like, I don't want to STD, but yeah. But yeah, I would say, like, that point, yeah. It was just the environment there was not promoting a good lifestyle. Especially, well, to be fair, the residence hall I was living in, there was a bunch of freshmen. And, freshmen are like, they just got out of college. They want to do stuff. And I'm going to say a lot of college women, there's something else.
Mostly the first class city ones.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
The ones out in the country are usually all right.
yeah. But yeah, that's how I dealt with mine. Yeah, those were my obstacles. Yeah, I trauma dump big, yay. But yeah, Gabe, yeah, biggest obstacle in your life.
I'll be honest, not very many big obstacles that jump out at the screen, but I can think of one that impacted basically the whole family. But this was at our second house. I believe it was the aftermath of the recession of 2008
Oh yeah.
when the markets crashed and the stocks plummeted. My dad worked at Harley Davidson, the motorcycle plants, and uh, they laid off about 2,000 workers as a result of that. And unfortunately, my dad was one of those workers.
So,
So
I'm sorry, Gabe, but Darren, what's up?
No, because like we're talking about stuff and like he's like, well, probably the biggest obstacle was like the recession of 2008.
You're right.
you had so many opportunities to laugh during all of your stories, and you choose mine.
The recession of 2008.
Yeah, it did. It screwed up some people's
Yes,
lives.
I know, but it's like
In all
I'm
seriousness.
sure it did, but it's like
It's compared
we're
to,
talking
like,
about like
Tim losing his job, and we have Darren losing his job, and like going through his family custody issues, and then you have me almost committing suicide and dealing with like loss, and then the recession of 20.
Well, I'm sorry. I have most of my shit together.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Gabriel.
It's so.
But I was getting there, and then you guys started laughing.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
I shouldn't. We should be, but I think it was just funny of how so out of.
What is your
field.
biggest obstacle? The recession of 2000. No, it's the impact that it had on my family because my dad ended up losing his job, and then we couldn't pay for most of the bills, and we had to relocate our whole family to a different town while not having, the breadwinner for the family. So eventually mom pitched in and started getting a job too, and then my dad went and got a better one to where we live now.
Good.
But
yes, good. That's good.
That's probably the biggest one I can think of in the family. I can't say I've had very many
there's one I can think of, but I think that's very personal.
Yeah, I'm not going into that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that story, and I think Darren does as well.
But not much, nothing as dark and deep as what you guys portrayed. So you guys take the crown on that one.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to win at that challenge.
I know.
I don't want to win at that either.
It started to sound like it when you guys started laughing at my 08 recession story.
I think it was just funny just to think about, it was just yes, the recession is bad, but it's like ours was like I if I didn't go through, I probably wouldn't even be here.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like the wording too, because it's just like, well, the recession of 2008. But like, if I would have been like the job loss or it,
when we lost our job like that, yeah.
But I was getting there and I didn't get to finish because you started laughing.
Sorry.
You're something else.
I think we kind of needed that because we've been like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you guys have been depresso espresso.
Yes.
Well, like, I really do try not to laugh. Like, sometimes like I get mad at myself for laughing at stuff because, like, I try not to, but I think it's just like more of like the quietness, and then like if somebody's like, my dad passed away, and I don't know why, like just like the silence of it, and then I look at Gabe and like the whole podcast, he's just
yeah, you saw that.
I just look at him and I'm like,
I don't understand why you're. Sometimes I'd like do little quick muscle movements of the face, and then I do that
because he'd be like, what Harrison, right? Like he'll be talking about like his grandparents or
like
something,
the
right?
worst shit ever that could
And then
happen
all
to a human, and I'm
he
over
just
here.
go like, there's something. Like I try not to laugh at stuff, and
I know, but it is funny to think about.
Yeah.
Like,
Trust me, if
look,
people know from our podcast, we have some pretty bad. We have really messed up humor.
I'm here trying to get Darren to break his character while Harrison's going in depth about dead family members, and
yeah. I mean, I'm sorry if I laugh, but I promise it's involuntary. It just happens, but
that last one seemed pretty voluntary to me.
I think it's just like the atmosphere, wording. Like it's so quiet. Like
I was talking.
It's like I'm being forced to like not laugh because like I don't know, it's just so quiet.
I get it. Yes, I get it. And as I said, our humor's messed up. Everyone who listens to this podcast knows this. All right,
I gave you guys the short version because my ass hurts. I've been sitting in this position for 2 hours.
Yeah. One more question. Let's knock it out.
Okay.
I'll be quick and simple. So, main struggles growing up, and where do you stand now? Examples like split parents, low income family, a history of bad health, etc. For me, kind of said earlier about where where be raised by my single mom, the lights would be cut off. I remember I was middle school maybe. I was home with my brother as my mom was at work, and and I remember like we were just like sitting at the house, and then the lights just like went off, and it was at like nighttime too. We had to light a candle at the dining room table and sit and wait for her to come home. And she came home and she was like, and I could just see like that stress. I was like, but like you're young, so you don't know that stuff. Like you don't, you just think, oh, she probably just, forgot to pay it and she'll pay it. But in reality, she probably didn't have the money for it. You know what I mean? And like, she would tell me, stories and stuff. And even just like, if you go to where like we used to live at when we were kids and just look at the neighborhood and like the environment is just like run down and ghetto. I mean, that's where I kind of used to live up for most of my childhood, was like the ghetto and living in the city and stuff, because kind of the only really place that would accept us and afford and stuff. And but I mean, it was hard for her. Like, it's hard saying this and trying to relate to it because, like I said, I was young. I didn't really grasp that whole concept, and I don't remember everything that happened. Like, for my mom, like, yeah, she would be able to relive everything and tell you like exactly how bad it was, and no money and having to juggle college and kids and work too, because she had to work. And she always worked night shift because, we'd be at school during the day, so she didn't have to worry about us. So that's why she would work the night shift. But she definitely sacrificed a lot for us. But, it's more of just me saying it rather than me living. Or, yeah, I probably lived, I could remember at least like the later years of it. But like the worst of the worst, I was young. I really couldn't tell you that I remember it too well. But just main struggles, I'd say, just being in the wrong environment, um, having my mom trying to, get through life one day at a time and barely making it, and trying to make ends meet. Yeah, just low income, for most of our lives. And where we're at now, I don't know if you guys have really been. You guys haven't really been to my house that much. I don't think it. Well,
No,
you guys came to
the-
my house, the one for the Baltimore
Baltimore.
trip, right?
the Baltimore
Yeah.
trip and
Yeah. So like you
some
see our
mall
house is
stuff.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you see our house and stuff is really nice now. I have my own car, Chrysler 300, beautiful car, but not beautiful for my wallet. But you see where we're living now, but it's like recent stuff. I mean, it's recent that we've been able to, you know, enjoy these luxuries in life because now myself, my middle brother are old enough to take care of ourselves now. So it releases that burden off of my mom, um, to like, have to struggle and stuff to make ends meet.
I'm
But
sorry, Gabe.
What's going on, guys? Is something wrong?
For the audio listeners, Gabe just put on a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I put on a Stetson.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
We did it. Yeah. But yeah, was that pretty much it, Darren?
Yeah, just struggling financially.
All right.
Everybody goes through it, so.
Yeah. And as I said, I respect your mother for going through all that and still prevailing.
Right.
That is a woman to look up to.
All glory to Yahweh.
Yeah. Anyway, main struggles growing up and where do I stand now? Nothing too major. I would say, well, kind of, but not real. I would say it was more so of breaking out of my introvert self because when I was young, I was very shy, did not want to talk to a lot of people, just I didn't want to like social, like, I was scared even, I would say, but like recently, well, not recently, it was like, it was more of a gradual thing where like, I, started, connecting with people, like talking, and we formed this friend group. That was one thing, that definitely helped. And then now, even with the entertainment industry, what I'm doing, like, I'm talking with freaking distributors and like producers and making connections stuff, and that definitely, I would say that's definitely helpful. So I would say like my main struggle growing up was just getting out of leaving my like getting out of my shell, like leaving my comfort zone. And I would say that definitely helped because I'm making connections because the film industry and the entertainment industry as a whole, you got to have connections, and you can't do that just being an introvert. You got to go out there and socialize, and this friend group too. So yeah.
Gabriella.
Okay. So,
Fucking
Gave your report.
well, what was the question again? Personal life struggles?
Or main struggles growing up and where do you stand now?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. You know what? Frick it. Hold on. If we're all gonna do this.
Yeah, for audio listeners, I just put on a sea captain's hat, and I don't even know what the hell Darren just put on.
I put on a Puerto Rico straw hat.
Okay. Huh. Are you a farmer?
Puerto Rico, baby.
There we go. Hold on.
Yeah, Harrison's wearing a hat.
Shiver me timbers, Hardy.
Oh, I'll shiver your timbers, all right.
Howdy, y'all. I'm the sheriff. My name's Bill Clinton.
Get out of here, boy.
You said I look better with this, right, Gabe? Like something like that.
Yeah. You look like
Anyway.
punk.
Anyway, Gabe, yeah. What were like main struggles you had growing up, and where do you stand now with it?
Main struggle, I'd say. Honestly, it was
Not for you guys. Sorry.
I hate you.
Go for
it. You fucking piece of shit. Why'd you have to do that? You and that fucking upside down sombrero. Where'd you even get that?
Oh my god. Yo.
Are you done?
My girlfriend, dude, go ahead.
Your girlfriend
My
what?
girlfriend, my girlfriend got it for me.
It's funny.
Ooh. All right, Gabe.
Oh. Okay. Shit. What was the question? Life struggles, right?
Yeah. Main struggles growing up and where you stand now. Yeah.
No, I thought you meant like struggles now.
No, more so like growing up, and then how did you where do you stand now from them? Like Darren talked about like the split, the parents being split. I talked about like introvert from growing up.
Yeah, my parents divorced a while ago. Relatively recently, it was in 2019.
Oh,
but
yeah, I remember that.
It wasn't that big of a deal. Except they're not in the same house. They're still my parents, so it wasn't. It was definitely an adjustment, but it was nothing both me and my sister could handle. So
yeah,
couldn't handle. But yeah. We were okay. But
nothing like from childhood or anything. Like nothing that you can think of.
Other than switching to different mental health therapists or whatever growing up as a kid due to some of the disorders that I have. But I mean, I got the help early, so there really wasn't much of an issue.
Understandable.
Not very many people are fortunate enough with that, though.
Yeah,
they don't receive help until they're very late in the game.
Yeah.
Did your parents at least split like on good terms?
Yeah. It wasn't good. Nasty. Like they didn't shoot each other or anything, which is good.
Well, yeah, that's.
I was gonna say, yeah, at least it was on good terms rather than not. Alrighty.
But all right, we're done.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. Darren, you've been a good host. Thank you for these questions. Holy goodness, this is a podcast episode and a half. Oh my goodness.
For real.
Yeah, this is like a 2 hour and 30. This might be our longest episode yet.
Yeah, 2 hours and 23 minutes on my ass.
Did you guys have any comments or?
No. This was fantastic. This was good though. I really like this though. We should do something like this.
Let's not do that again.
Yeah, let's just.
Well, not a 2 hour.
It's almost 11 o'clock.
But like going into questions like these, like Darren cooked with us. Darren really cooked with this. And now he's Spider-Man again. But
gonna end with Spider Booby.
Yeah, do you want me to say closing statements?
Yeah. I have a 3D print going on downstairs. It's going to take 20 hours.
Yeah, if you want me to I can just say closing statements so we can. But yeah, this was a trauma dump and a lore drop episode if there ever was one. So I'll just say closing statements. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, please download it on Spotify. Also share it around. That would help us greatly. Also follow our Instagram, follow our YouTube, and also join the Discord, the server. The link will be in the description. And until then, see you next time.
Thank you guys for sticking around.
My ass hurts.
Yeah.